my name is Megan. Welcome to Obscene Plant Scene, where I like plants and have a body mouth. Today I'm going to be repotting some plants that I got at the Big Plant Expo, repping merch right here. That was 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point. I have 2 plants that I got there, and then a monstera bulbasaur that is obviously a little root bound because she's just hanging on for dear life here. And then I have an alocasia regal shield that I am going to be moving from water to a leca moss situation inspired by Jan with the Sydney Plant Guy, because he's had really great luck with his alocasia fry deck. So I'm gonna try to replicate what he's been doing, because I like the regal shield. Alocasia are meh with me. Sometimes they do really well, not very often, and 9 times out of 10 they die. Not even a slow death, a very fast death. I just can't seem to get them down. So I'm gonna try the new setup with leca and moss. I do have some spag moss, and then I have leca that I have been soaking in some water you're supposed to do it for 24 hours at least. That's been in the water for like 3 days. It's definitely not because I got distracted and completely forgot about it on the counter and walked by it in the kitchen for days and just didn't do anything about it. So one of the tips that I saw getting into the alocasia, because it's the one that's just staring me in the face. I mean, come on, look at her, she's so pretty. But one of the things that I saw online as a tip through Reddit, if you do transfer, is to wash the roots off really, really well, which I think I did a pretty good job. But those are nice and white. There's no like brown spotty ooky bits or like rotting or anything. But one of the tips that I saw was, if you're going from soil to hydro or semi-hydro and you don't have great transfer success, aka me, to actually just put your plant in water for a couple of weeks. So I think I washed the soil off of this one before the Big Plant Expo. So it was probably 3 weeks ago now. So the roots look good. There's no funkiness, just kind of smells like roots and water, which is good. So now this little leaf looks like it's dying. It's like literally split open at the bottom where there's new growth coming in. So I'm just gonna look away, pull that right off, and just kind of check that, because it's not doing me any services at the moment. And so the only problem that I have is I want to put this in a glass vessel, and this is what it was in with the water. It's not quite big enough, as you can see. So I'm running out of glass vessels because I use them for propagations and such. So what I think I'm actually gonna do, now that I'm looking at it, is I may actually take the vase that I've got the water and leca in and just use this. Yeah, why not? If this was a dumb idea, you won't know, because I won't post this video, and if the plant dies, I probably also won't post it. It just will disappear into the ether, and Megan's first leca moss transfer will be a fail. But we're hoping for goodness here. So I'm gonna put this one, I guess I gotta move the leca somewhere. Can you tell I was super prepared for this? Because you want a little bit of leca at the bottom, but you don't need all this extra water. So I think I'm going to just pour some of this water out. Save my leca. Save some of my leca. Okay. Now the videos that I saw, you don't need nearly this much. So there's a couple other cups over here. Oh, I'm gonna leca clean edits all this out with the leca balls. I don't know if you've watched her on YouTube, but if you have not seen the leca clean, and me say that again without having Lekka sounds. If you've not seen the Lekka Queen on YouTube, give her a follow. She's absolutely amazing. She has answered so many questions that I have had on Lekka, and she does moss pulls in Lekka, and her plants are stunning. She even does ZZ plants in Lekka, which, girl, that's crazy. So it's like a third of the way up. I'm gonna go down a little bit farther because my goal, I think this vase is like a foot tall, so I'm trying to go for just a couple inches, maybe like that much. Because basically what the Lekka is going to do is be your water reservoir that's going to hold on to water for you and wick the water up into the moss. And then that is going to keep the moss moist but not like dripping wet, and keep the roots moist. So put a little bit more back in there. Again, the noises I'm sure you absolutely love. So that's kind of what we're looking at. It's about right there. So like between like a quarter and a third of the way up. So now I'm gonna take my moss. Sorry, short arms. Was I prepared? No, it's not what I should have been, but that's okay. So also, I'm a big fan of using random containers around my house for stuff. This is a plastic cookie bin that I got cookies from many, many years ago from a friend, and have since used for many, many different plant things because it's big and it's wide and it's perfect for, in this instance, soaking moss. So now trying to figure out how to organize this so you can actually see what I'm doing. So now I'm going to take the moss and kind of like wrap it around the roots, kind of like that, kind of like give the roots a little hug. And this moss is like a little damp. It's not like wet or moist. Watching Jan's video, Sydney Plant Guy, I did see that he had a lot of better success with his alocasia if you don't like pack the moss. So I'm just trying to do like a light little tuck around. Please don't fall. Please don't fall. Kind of like that. And then since I don't want the roots to like sit on top of the Lekka, I kind of want them to like search for the Lekka and get down in there. I'm gonna put some moss kind of loosely on top there, not tucking it down too far, kind of like that. And then, again, first time doing this, so we'll see how it goes. So now I'm just gonna kind of put it here, and so that looks good. I don't want it too deep down in the vase, but I also don't want it too high up. So I think that's good. And now I'm just gonna take some more moss and kind of zhuzh it, you know, super professional words, zhuzh it down in there, give it a little bit more stability. And then once I feel like I can let go and it not like flop like that, then I'll know I'm good there. So just kind of keep, and some of the moss that you get has like weird little like sticks and shit in it. Get rid of that. You don't need that mess in your life. So I thought I picked all the sticks out, but I guess not. That's fine. So just kind of tuck everything down in there. Let the moss hug all the way around. I'm using way more than I expected, or thought I was gonna have to, but that's all right. I guess I did pick the giant, like freaking largest vase in my house. So, okay. Really? Ma'am? Stay. All right, so I think a little bit more on this side where she was leaning, and then I should be good. Also, one of the other like big tips that I saw is if you want to do your plants in a setup like this, whether it's alocasia or any other plant, I'd be interested to see what other plants do well in setups like this. Because like I prop in moss and props do well, so if this goes well, I might try it with a bunch of different plants. So one of the biggest things that I saw is people saying or recommending that you make sure to get a vessel or vase or whatever you want to call it that does not have a I don't know what you want to call it, but like a waist or a neck or whatever you want to call it, but one that just kind of goes straight down, because eventually it is like this plant is going to outgrow this vase, and hopefully, if it doesn't die, fingers crossed, eventually it will outgrow this vase and you'll need to repot. And if there's a neck or anything that the roots have to like go into and then spread out, you're either going to have to chop all the roots off, which is less than ideal, or hopefully you put it in a glass container that you don't care about, and you will probably have to just break it out, which is less than ideal, but you know, gotta do what you gotta do. Plants over, in my opinion, I'd break the vase. Like, that's just me, but I love my plants. So now that one is done, and I'll water everything through at the end. I'm a big proponent for watering through once you do repots. So that is the first one. Now this is a teeny little alocasia aurea that I got from a friend of mine. She knew that I was going into a reattempt alocasia and begonia era this year, and she hooked me up with a ton of different ones probably 2 months ago. So this one has very well acclimated to my house, and this is in fluval perlite, and I think that's it. I haven't taken it out of this, so I'm going to take it out of the substrate, kind of look at the roots, see if they look okay. I'd like to put them in the same setup as this with the moss and the leca. Depending on how the roots look, I'll either, like, you can kind of see how there's just like a chunk sitting on top, and then you can see like a little bit of roots in there. Obviously I've had it in really high light, so that's where there's some algae growth in there. But you can see like a little bit of roots. Depending on how the roots look, I'll either put it straight into the leca moss situation, or I might just put it in water for a couple weeks just to be on the safe side. So let's kind of see. I love these little cups that she gave me. They're so freaking cute. Oh, please don't rip into the roots. Oh, oh. Okay. There's little brown bits in here. And I don't know what those are. The roots look good. They don't smell. If you see me smelling any of my roots, it's because I watch Plants by Crystal. And she always smells for root rot. Because if you have a crazy sensitive nose like I do, you can smell rot. Like, it smells like rot. It smells stinky. It's gross. So let me just reuse this totally clean water in this totally clean vase and do a little rinse. Oh, get all that off. And there's actually a little corm on there. I don't know if you can see that against my pasty whiteness. Ooh, little corm. Actually, there's two. There's another little one right there. So I think, do we risk it for the biscuit? I'm not good with alocasia anyways. I mean, these roots look so good, and they're not like soft. There's like a couple of little teeny tiny hair roots that are coming off, but other than that, these feel really good. I'm just kind of doing like a gentle pull. That's what I do with like my other, like monstera, hoya, philodendron plants that I'm actually decent at. And then there's not any give to them, so I'm gonna say that they're good. You know what? Who gives a fuck? Let's try it. let's just give it a go. So I'm gonna use the same skinny little vase that I had pulled out as a potential for some of the other plants. So I'm gonna kind of do the same thing, have like a third of the way up, and then also this nice pretty little vase. This is a cup, like a drinking cup. I got a glassware set from the Wally World, and I'm like, oh, this is perfect for for plants and plant propagation. So I have a bunch of drinking glasses around my house, because I don't know if you've gone online and priced like vases, just, or like what do they call them, candle funnel, tornado, hurricane vases. It's something like that. It's a natural disaster situation that you can get off of like Amazon and shit, and they are so expensive. Like, for just like a nice looking freaking vase that's not even that big, like a 10-inch by like maybe 3-inch, not even $20. I mean, that may not be expensive to some people, but when you have as many plants as I do, like I've got a couple hundred plants, I'm not dropping that kind of money on. Like, I have some cups, or some plants in freaking plastic cups, plastic solo cups. I'm not spending $30 on $30 on a vase for one plant. Like, get out of here. That's a little crazy. So kind of doing the same thing that I did with the regal shield over there. Just kind of tucking the moss around the roots, nice and delicately. And same thing as before. Gonna put a little layer down first. This should be a lot easier because obviously it's smaller. All right. So now I'm just gonna kind of gently finagle her down in there. Oh yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. And is it centered? No. Do I care? Probably, but that's a problem for Megan tomorrow, not today. God, that was so easy. I feel like that was too easy. It's fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. So, got that one out of the way. I'm jamming through this real quick. Okay, should I do hoya or philodendron? No. Actually, I'm gonna do my monstera. So this is my little monstera bulbasaur. I have 4 of these, 3 or 4 of these. I am a notoriously indecisive person. So what I will do a lot of times is, if I have a plant that I want, like a bulbasaur, then if I'm getting it from a place online, because I do a lot of online plant shopping, but if I order it from a place online and I know that it's a grower's choice type situation, I will, within my own means, I will order like 3 or 4 of them, grow them for a while, make sure to pest treat and do all that stuff, you know, isolate when it first comes in, and I will wait until they start growing out, decide which 1 or 2 I want to keep, and then I'll just sell the rest. It allows me to keep plants, you know, cycling into my community. It allows me to pick the plant that I like the best without just buying one and then being disappointed, possibly. Again, I do this within my means. So if I have sold a bunch of plants recently, like in an event or something like that, then that's when I'll go in and I'll buy like 3 or 4, especially if plants like this where they were a little bit more expensive. I had a gal that was coming through town and bought like, oh gosh, I think she bought like $150 of plants from me. So I turned around and spent like $120 on monstera bulbasaurs. This was around Christmas time. She was traveling to see her family and wanted to bring plants as Christmas presents. So that was nice. So with this one, this is the newest leaf. You can kind of see how it's got like a little bit of variegation. This is one that I probably will end up selling just because the variegation pattern isn't super strong on it. I am gonna wait another leaf or 2 and see what happens, because I've seen these from other YouTubers revert back to solid green, and then I've seen other YouTubers where the leaves look like this, and then give it another 2 or 3 leaves, and they're like popping off. Beautiful, stunning, gorgeous. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and take this out of this little pot. Okay, if you notice things changed a little bit, my mistake, my bad. I am totally a professional at not this. I kicked the table and the camera just went, so ignore that. Anyways, so yeah, like I was saying before, I was really interrupted by myself. I'm going to kind of wiggle and finagle her out. Yes, my plants have genders. This one is a her, a she. Call it whatever you want. Ooh, yeah, baby. So, I'm torn between fucking with it and just leaving it alone. I think I'm gonna leave it alone. Just because I do want this one to do well. So, I have my cereal bowls of soil here mixed up. So, I have my like super chunky mix. And then I have another bowl of a little less chunky. Still like very airy. But since this one is smaller, I think I'll do this mix here. And you'll notice that as I'm repotting, I like to put stuff in clear pots. That way I can actually see how the roots are going. So I'll put it in here. And then just kind of sprinkle the soil in around. And I'm not pushing down too much, because again, I'm going to water it in, and I know that monstera like to have a nice bit of air around the roots. So we'll just kind of give it a little tippy tap shimmer. I combined words. Shimmy the soil. Shimmer. Yeah, just shimmer it. There we go. All right, that looks good. You can't see any of the roots, which is what I like, because that means that whenever I do start seeing roots, I know that that's fresh growth and not just, oh, the root was smushed up against the side of the pot when I repotted it. So that one is good to go. And I'm breezing through this. Yay. Because I definitely don't have a million other things I have to do today. Of course not. All right, got that one knocked out. Now I'm going to do my hoya latifolia sarawak. So I got this plant 2 or 3 weeks ago off of, I thought this was one that I got at the expo, but I got this one at an Etsy shop. And I have wanted a sarawak for so long. Ooh, that root situation is weird. So I've wanted a sarawak for such a long time. I have always loved hoyas with the bigger, chunkier leaves. I'm kind of weird. I like the, or not weird, but particular. I like the hoyas that have the big, gigantic, chunky leaves. And then I like the hoya that have the itty bitty little baby leaves. So I'm an extremist. I like it one gigantic way or one itty bitty way. So I'm just kind of getting some of the soil off. Just kind of shaking it a little bit because the soil is kind of dense. It's definitely got like perlite in it and a little bit of the bark bits. Definitely not like big chunky bits. So I'd like to change that because I like having well draining soil for most of my hoyas that I have in my little cabinet. And when I say cabinet, I don't mean one of those like fancy cabinets. It's a shelf, or it's one of the ones that just has like a bunch of metal shelves on it, and it doesn't have any like particular humidity minimums. I have a hydrometer in there that tells me the humidity, and it normally sits at like 40 to 50%. My house is not that humid, just naturally, so I don't have the energy to maintain having humidifiers running all the damn time, because I'm just not about that life. I got too many other things that I like to do with my time than fill up a million humidifiers, because my house is, you know, decently sized, so I would have to run a lot of humidifiers because I have plants all over. I don't have them in just like one singular space in my home. So if I wanted to keep them all in high humidity, no, it just ain't happening. So that's kind of the root situation we're looking at. Looks pretty good. I think what I'm gonna do with this one is maybe go a little bit bigger. I think this is a 3-inch. Let me see if I have a 3.5-inch. Was I prepared coming into this and had all my cups around me? No. Should I have? Probably. So here we go. Okay. You'll notice that my plant nursery pots are some very clean because they have not been used, and some a little dirty because they have been used. I am all about reusing pots. Those are as clean as they're gonna get. Should I like wash them and sterilize them and this, that, and the other? Probably. Am I gonna? No. Again, your girl ain't got time for that shit. So we're just gonna clear this little spot. And yeah, I think I'm gonna go like that. Oh yeah, baby. That'll work. That's perfect. So again, I'm gonna use the same soil as my monstera, where it's got like some chunks to it. I'm gonna put some of this on the bottom, where it's got some chunks to it, but has enough stuff in it, professional term, stuff, to keep it moisture retentive. So this mix, in case you're wondering, because I don't know if I've said it or not, is orchid bark, perlite, pumice, because I had it. My chunky soil much changes all the time, by the way. Yeah, perlite, pumice, orchid bark, sorry, I'm a little mental. As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by the plane. So it is orchid bark, perlite pumice. I had some Tazula sphagnum petals that I threw in here, and then I had some Osmocote. That's my fertilizer, so I definitely use that. And then I also put charcoal. Forgot about that. Yeah, little charcoal bits. Do I absolutely think that you have to have charcoal? No. Did I use it because I had it in my tub of substrates or substrate amendments? Yes. So that's what I got. So that's Miss Hoya. And lastly, I am doing one of the favorite plants that I got at the Plant Expo. I don't know if you guys can kind of see a little sneak peek there, but this is my stunning, beautiful, gorgeous, absolutely to die for Florida Ghost Mint. She's so pretty. I'm dead. I died. I'm dead. Obviously needs a repot because, girl, what are you doing? That's crazy. So I'm gonna give this a little squeeze. I don't know what the fuck this is planted in, but it is like thick. It's chunky. It feels like it's just straight freaking peat. It's not, but good lord. Good lord almighty. Oh, buddy. Oh. Oh, look at them roots. That's crazy. Again, I don't know what this is potted in. I usually try not to fuck with the roots, but oh, look at that little baby. I don't know if you can see that. Little baby. Oh my goodness, he's so cute. Anyways, Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of give it a little bit of a zhuzh. Nothing crazy. I'm not trying to rip anything. Just kind of loosen everything up a little bit. Just kind of tippy tap the roots. Get some of this mess off. Oh, I see a brownie plug. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Okay, so controversial opinion incoming. You do what you want. Your plants, your soil, your humidity, your life. You do you. I am never going to tell you that what I do is correct. I'm never going to tell you that what I do is the only way or the right way or whatever. What I am going to tell you is what I do and what works for me in my home, in my situation with my plants. Okay, so before I was really interrupted, hot topic alert. Apparently my phone also does not like that I don't like the brownie plugs. But anyways, so I don't like them. Not for any reason other than because I am a chronic overwaterer. I have found that in instances where I leave the brownie plugs on, again, for me only, my plants tend to get root rot, and since it's right around like the very center of the plant, I have found that when I leave them on and I overwater, then the roots just kind of take water in and hold onto it right where they connect and attach to the plant, and the plant almost like rots from the bottom, like from the main stem up, which is what I want to not happen. I do not want that. So, oh, and in case I did not actually show you what I am talking about, so you can see the roots, and then let me undress her a little. You can see this like really dense bit right here. And what I like to do is just kind of squeeze it, because the roots are growing through it, so like it's hanging on. But if you just kind of squeeze it, you can get it off in like little chunks like that. And again, you don't have to. This is just what I prefer to do with my plants. You do you, boo. It's your life, your journey. You live it how you want. So, just gonna kind of keep finagling here a little bit. And then as I'm loosening up all this dirt, soil, substrate, whatever the fuck you want to call it, I'm also pulling off any roots that are like they don't feel good. If there's any smushies, if there's any roots that are like dry and crispy, I'll pull those off too. Get a little aggressive with it. If you're not aggressive with your plants, then what are you doing? Okay. I think that is good enough for gun work. So I'm going to get one of my pots. I did not expect the root system to be like this, so I do not believe I got a big enough pot for this, because I definitely thought the root system was going to be kind of piddly. I'm pleasantly surprised. So with that being said, this is the pot that I got. No, it's not gonna happen. So I'll be back momentarily with a properly sized pot. Okay, so it makes me a little nervous because I don't like putting them in gigantic pots, but I mean, if she fits, and that's like right there, I mean, I guess you do what you gotta do, right? So I'll just have to make sure that I only water when she is like fully dry, because I do not want to overwater this plant. I love her so much. So I do not think I got enough substrate for this gigantic ass pot though. So we're just gonna jimmy all that in there. And then put her in. Now I have seen a lot of people who do myco. I have used myco in the past. I am a big proponent of myco. If you have it, use it, but use it properly. Myco requires, it's mycorrhizae. It's a, like a, I won't say fungus, but it helps aid in root development and like helps create like a bioactive environment around the roots of the plant. It only works if you have substrate that the myco can eat. And since my substrate does not have any organic material, like I don't have any worm castings, I don't have any cocoa peat, I don't have any of that stuff, using myco in this would be a waste. Because it wouldn't do anything. The myco would just die off. And I don't know if you price myco, but that shit's expensive. So we're gonna knot and say we did, and I need some more substrate. I'm just gonna grab my whole bin. I mix up my substrate in bins like this, or at least the two that I mainly use. I have my chunky mix, and then I have another bin that is my succulent mix, which has a bunch of like rocks and clay and stuff like that in it. So I'm gonna take some more of this and just kind of take her around. Like I said, my chunky mix kind of changes with what I have available. It just kind of depends on where I'm at in life and what deals have been happening, because I'm all about shopping for deals. So like, hey, if Orchiata was on sale Amazon Prime Day, I'm gonna get that. If it wasn't, I might not, and that might not be the base, and I might go with, you know, some other substrate. With this being my first video, if you would like a video detailing some of the substrate options that I use, or amendments, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, I would be happy to do that, and we can have a discussion about what you guys use and what you find works for you and your plants. But yeah, in the meantime, I think that is everybody. So I'm going to take my philodendron and I'm going to water her thoroughly. I'm going to take my hoya and I'm going to water her thoroughly. Same thing with my monstera. I'm going to water that one all the way through. And then with my alocasia in the leca moss, I'm going to water up until it's at like just barely the top of the leca. You don't want too much water because then it's just going to rot, and that's not good. That's what I saw on YouTube. And you don't want too little, otherwise it's not going to like actually like do the wicking thing. So I'm going to water until it's right above there. For the water that I put in these, I'm going to be putting in just regular tap water, and then I'm going to add in SNS 209, which is my pest control, and then just got at the Plant Expo a jug of GT foliage focus, so I'm also going to mix that in as my fertilizer. And yeah, hope you guys like my first little chatty repot, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.